Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League Hiatus Tournament, Week 3. My name is NightFiree. I am your Soulcaster in today's event. I hope you're ready for it. One that I didn't even know was happening until just a few moments ago. BossFight versus Vikings. About to be underway. It is a Division 1 matchup, and it is historically an EU matchup. Both of these teams top in their EU rankings, respectively, and overall, if you look at the overall standings, they are 5th and 7th worldwide. So, we are getting some high-tier teams going at it today, and I really want to see how the EU side of things have adjusted to the shortened round timer in particular. You know, we've seen some teams go up against NA teams and do well in 1.8, but again, this is really kind of at least the first match that I've tuned into that's EU v EU that I'm consciously aware of. maybe I was watching a match already that was EU v EU, but it is BossFight versus Vikings. Vikings is actually home, so Vikings versus BossFight. And we're going to get into pick bans because both these squads are popping into lobby and getting themselves ready. Over on the Viking side, we have the cargo ban, I believe. Let me double check that. Yep, the cargo ban. And on BossFight, we have the subway? No, tank ban come in. Two maps that have seen very little change in 1.8. Actually, you know what? I don't even know if that's true for Tanker. I'll be honest with you. I have not played enough Tanker to know what little minuscule, if there is any minuscule changes there. Frankly, I haven't watched it. There have been almost no matches on Tanker, and we're not going to see it here. So don't expect it. What we are going to see is kind of a banger. A good one to start off with, an interesting one. One that has been banned the last few matches we have cast. It is going to be Quarantine for our first map of the day, and I'm excited. This is going to be great. Shortened round timer, completely changed map from what it was in 1.7. Really want to see how both these teams are going to strategize this, how they're going to approach. Could dive into the rosters. Over on Vikings, we have Manus, Noctum, Nutjob, Fimi, Fungi, and Lone Miyagi. Pretty standard. And over on BossFight, we have Scooby-Doo, Radarhead, Lonely Viper, Legal, and Polis Bill. And you know, this is something I'm just thinking of because I was just watching Aimless Gaming, which are their abbreviation is ALG, I think. They put that before their name. For some reason, the V for Vikings in front of their names is not as breaking. But still, I advocate for putting your clan logo after the name. And I saw that recently in some other professional esports, and I was like, wow, that is the way to do it, you know? That is the way to do it. Sort of like as an after, not the pre-tag, as an after tag. You still have your, you're still repping the clan, but you're putting the name first. Kind of helps build that individual player brand too. And in the case that player does change teams, it's not as breaking to their namesake. You know, it's just kind of a change up at the end. Food for thought. Food for thought. Either way, this matchup is going to be a quality one. And both teams in lobby and ready to go. So I think we're going to be hopping into our first map of the day shortly. We are patiently waiting here. Haven't had a... Everything's good on stream. Just patiently waiting. Oh. Forgot that I had my co-caster with me last time. Let's get our advertisers up here. Oops. Excuse me. Monarchid tried to join yesterday. We might be joined by Theta in some of these later maps. Potentially. We'll see if he gets back in time, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in this afternoon. This is going to be a good one, I can tell you that. I just don't know what to expect. I really don't. I want to see what these... Because so historically, EU has had a slower play style. They have used all 6 minutes of round time. And so do a lot of NA teams. It really isn't an EU play style. It is just a style that a lot of EU teams do gravitate towards. Some play fast. So it's not, like I said, not even necessarily an EU style anymore these days. But historically it was a bit slower and a bit more reliant on that 6-minute timer. Now that there's a minute off, I want to see if that shakes up the sort of pacing we normally experience here. Or if BossFight are going to use all 5 minutes this time as we hop into round 1. We'll see. Vikings on the defense, BossFight on the offense, and we got ourselves an interesting start-off objective. It is indeed a middle courtyard. So, they are investing Mantis in the upstairs, Nutjob in the down. They're going to have to defend this objective. You could hear the call out from Mantis there. Be careful, Viper is dangerous with that sniper, and he absolutely is. You can see him in the back here with it. And there's all kinds of new little spots for snipers here on Quarantine. If Viper does opt to end up going plane wing, he could end up getting up onto that 5-story and have a direct line of sight down onto objective. Be a real serious threat for any rotations that aren't tucked in. Ooh, and some early shots. Lego finding out Noctum, who has advanced pretty heavily here over in the south. M203 comes out and does go a bit far. Noctum is going to still be alive here. Lego using this small bump of sand on this wall to get that little bit of vision over the top. And look at this. Viper is trained in onto the Noctum's position right now, looking for that angle. Oh, no, that's Raider. Yeah, Viper doesn't have that line of sight yet. He's not on that 5-story. But Radar Head is here, watching through that window. A very hard spot to ID enemies in, whether they're Marsoc or Volk.
I can't see anyone. I just got shot at.
There you go, knocked him. Doesn't know where he's being shot from, but he is being shot. And ultimately now he's stuck. Nades vulnerable to them. He really can't move. He could potentially prone out, especially now that Raiders dropped off. He could really run out and be fine. But he does not know that's the case. There's the nade. Flash up and over. That's going to completely blind knock them, and you can see the pre-fire coming in. It does kind of force Lego to play it a little bit slower, though, but really nicely done there. He does get that kill. Fimi doesn't rotate in time. I don't think Fimi was flashed there, but Radar Head with a nice peek from the roof gets Fimi on the rotation. And now, Vikings picked off to 3 with a very nice play from Lego on the south. Let's take stock of the rest of Vikings defense. Nutjob in parking garage. Mantic inside objective building. Lone Miyagi watching their east. Forgot to update the title on Twitch, but now it is updated. Thank you for that from Twitch chat. Fume Plays, appreciate you. Smokes are coming out. Scooby here in that front courtyard, looking to make his move soon. Lonely Viper also here. C4 gets detonated from Nutjob there on the ramp. Scooby does find Mantis. That's a huge pickup for Mantis to be down completely open on objective. Now they have to rotate quick. Nutjob can't get up here in time. Scooby's got all the time in the world to cap this out. Lego's watching Nutjob if he does enter here. Scooby's still proning up. Nutjob taking a slow peek. Does see the prone. Does take the shots. Cap not here just yet. Nutjob able to deny it. Flash comes in. Doesn't find Nutjob. Oh, almost swings out and finds two, but just ends up trading. Lone Miyagi now trying to crash in. Polis Bill has a great line of sight. He's going to take it. BossFight. With plenty of cap opportunities, ultimately scoop up the kill and their 1 point. Oops. Really solid round there from BossFight. And, I mean, again, that play on the South just kicked it off. You know, able to hit that flashbang, get that kill. And then for Radar to find that follow-up from the rooftop, very nicely done there to pick up Femi. And just in a flash, two are dead. And the defensive setup suddenly becomes a lot weaker. And as soon as they lost their on-objective defender, you know, it's certainly was a lot of time there for a cap. You know, there was plenty of uncovered objective there. But ultimately, BossFight just not able to get up and get there in time. And I thought you could cap from the corner, but we did see that a prone and getting a little bit closer to the objective was required there in order to enter in that code. And that ultimately cost that cap, because if he could have capped around that corner, it would have gone unidentified. See what Vikings do on their Marsoc round as we hop into round 2. Do apologize for no mini-map. We're hoping to get that fixed in the coming weeks, but it's all right. We've got almost all the action so far, but I don't know how long that'll keep up. But out the gate, Noctum gonna look for the cross. Oh, does not get those shots off on him. Able to quickly sprint over. The smoke is blocking enough vision, and they do get one across. We'll see if Femi is gonna look to do anything to Radar head up on this roof. Scooby-Doo up on the rooftop as well. We're going to have to keep track of multiple positions. Radarhead trying to get a very similar position to the ones that Vikings had. We'll come back to the south, because meanwhile in the north, Mantis and Lone Miyagi are going to be going up against Legal and Scooby-Doo in just a few moments. Scooby's getting a bit aggressive. Shots coming in downrange from Femi. Nicely done. Finds Scooby.
2 confirmed.
Legal's still here. Picks up Mantis, trying to swing up on the hill. And he also has an angle on to Lone Miyagi. Lone Miyagi's looking for Legal here. Both of them eyes on that angle there.
Enemy in the northwest. Enemy in the northwest. One down in the hospital.
Oh, Polis Bill picking up Femi on the rooftop from center. And Vikings are getting slowly kind of shut down here. It's into a 3v3 BossFight 2 Resable, so they are ultimately in a better position. But I don't know if those reses are really coming out quite yet. Ooh, Lego catching some suppressive fire there from the Lone Miyagi. I like this. I like this because he's forcing Lego to check both sides. Ultimately, he's not pushing in on that side, but it draws Lego's attention away from just the solo angle. We do have a res come in up on that north side. We are going to drop off, or sorry, excuse me, on the south side. We are going to drop off this and peek over to Noctum, who is down here in the south.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lone Miyagi.
North down.
Patience is a virtue, and I thought he was dropping off of this approach. I think Lego thought the same thing, and he ends up getting that pick. Scooby-Doo now out of the question in terms of being rezzed, and so we're very much into a 3v3 here. Radar head. Oop, knocked him, spots him. Shots come in, down goes Radar.
I go with 1 south road.
Objective is starting to open up just a bit here, and the pinch is coming in. Lone Miyagi in the north, working his way around. I think he wants to shut down exactly where Lonely Viper is located. He might be able to catch out this rotation. Shots come in. No, not landing onto Viper. Somehow able to avoid those. Will draw his attention, though. Will draw his attention, and we'll see if Viper's going to hold this angle on Noctum. I don't think he is, so Noctum's going to have a pass here on this street. Lone Miyagi is rotating around the north. Lonely Viper trying to catch out the swing. No, he can't. He ends up dropping off. Oh, Noctum taking his time here on the street. Viper does find the shots. Where is Nutjob? He's still at center bubble there. And now Viper and Polis tightening up their defense. Holding for the 2v2. 40 seconds on the clock.
Come in.
Ooh, and I think Viper did see that. Oh, look at this. He's trying to hit the shots under the fence, under the wall. Really fine shot. Ooh, and Lone Miyagi, perfect job capitalizing off the rotation. Polis Bill catches one through the center, and now Lone Miyagi is going to try his luck up against Polis Bill. Shots are ringing in. Polis goes down. Viper's going to have to swing out the street. Lone Miyagi's pad out. Viper doesn't recognize the urgency. Lone Miyagi doesn't know where Viper is, and Viper able to swing on street and successfully win the 1v1. BossFight go up to... this is a crazy match so far. Quite the good back and forth, and excellent plays coming in from both sides. Vikings, though, definitely want to get one on the board, and they've been so close both times, so. Again, a shout out to everyone tuning in. If you want to help, I don't know, represent the VRML or help promote the VRML, one good way is to go on over to Twitter and follow Onward. Oh gosh, do we have that naming convention? Yeah, Onward_VRML. They tweet and retweet when streams are going live. Keep you informed on community videos that are getting put out, and just a good way of staying up to date on the Onward news, and you can retweet those go live tweets to help get a few more people to drop by and enjoy the game that we all know and love. You can also follow me. I am the NightFiree on Twitter, not NightFiree. That guy's an imposter. And that's enough self-promotion. Let's dive into the rounds. Oh, this objective is so different now. The south objective used to be so weird to defend. Now you have all kinds of options. You can set up through windows. You can set up on rooftops. You just have so many more different defensive positions you can take. This is going to be interesting because BossFight have the fast west spawn. They're going to be right on top of Nutjob. Nutjob has an opportunity for 3 in front of him. Only manages to trade with Radar, but Radar is going to get quickly rezzed. Information for Vikings, though. Now they know it's the west spawn, and they should shift their defense accordingly. We're not seeing it happen yet, though. Everyone in that southeast side has not moved here, and this is 5 strong piling in on the west.
We should smoke this.
Taking control of center. You can also see Viper with an interesting overwatch position here from the plane. Able to get some interesting lines of sight in through those windows. Lone Miyagi is looking to challenge Lego here, as well as Mantis, who has swung around now from his southeast position. Fimi also getting closely tucked in here, and Lone Miyagi just around the corner. Mantis finds Polis Bill, and nade's getting pulled. That actually does get Mantis, but it ultimately also, I think, hits Lego. Lego tries to go through. Miyagi finds him in the back. Mantis still blinded from the flash. We're into a 3v3. In the meanwhile, while all the chaos has been going down, Scooby's applying pressure on objective. Lone Miyagi gonna have to swing outside here. He has to swing this corner. No one's watching Scooby. No one's got Overwatch, so Scooby is going to go down. Lone Miyagi shuts it down, and we're into the 2v2. Lonely Viper going to be up next on Lone Miyagi's hit list. Or vice versa.
Oh, you're good. I think I flashed him. It was near gas stations. They might be near burning or between burning and gas.
Plenty of time left. Viper going for a long rotation. You may be able to find an angle from the 2-story if he does go up there.
Still at 2 minutes 13.
I'm going to go on board Viper on this rotation south. Mantis picks off Radar head. This is going to be information for Viper to work with. Doesn't want to overextend because he is concerned about that potential angle that the other defender is holding. I mean, there's so many angles he has to check here now from the south. He's checking the windows. He's checking rooftop. He has to be aware of Lone Miyagi looking up through the up over the wall there. Could also have someone potentially inside the corner, tucked in the corners there of that garage. So again, a lot of new options for defense, and Viper can see aware of them and trying to check them before making his move. Mantis is tucked in nicely here as well from Viper, and this defense is set up to defend ultimately the push here from the south. 1:15 on the clock. Oh, Mantis goes down. A nice shot from Viper. Lone Miyagi not rotating fast enough. A good flash comes out. Oh, another one. No, that's a smoke.
He's behind the wall, Miyagi.
Oh, Miyagi can't see him in the smoke. Miyagi full blind. And Viper with the clutch sniper kill. A dirty play. Did we get it on replay? We did. Swings around. Very nicely done. Four and 0 for Viper. He has done well to stay alive for the ends of these rounds. That's an interesting stat. 4-0. Everyone else 1-3, 4-3, 3-2, 3-2. He truly is the lonely Viper, living the sniper life. We'll see if Vikings can bounce back. They've been so close to winning these rounds, these 1v1s. Just out of reach for them, and mounting a comeback would not be too out of. It's interesting. I feel like at this point you have options. You can challenge and try and go, look, we're going to run this back. We're going to go 3-3, and we're going to bring this on to a 7-rounder. Or you can try and compete for this one, see how it goes. If you lose, no harm, no foul. You did good every round. And you can go into your map pick. I think they did sides. But you go into round 2 feeling not as defeated, you know, not as worn out, a bit more fresh. You can more easily bounce back. Obviously, it's crazy to secede. You know, you never want to give in. You always want to try and mount that comeback. So I do anticipate Vikings putting in the best effort here to sort of run this one back. But we'll see what they can do as Scooby and Radar moving into some advanced forward positions on defense that are going to be setting up nicely for the spawn that Vikings get. Oh, Femi's already pushed up here onto APC. Scooby hears the footsteps, and he's going to try and swing. I think Femi now hears those footsteps. Nade's a bit too far. Lego also on Overwatch, so the swing from Femi is not going to be easy. Oh, that's a nice nade. Just a bit short. Ooh, Femi challenges. Now he's the one suppressing. Lego, again, has Overwatch. When Femi's aware of that, too, Scooby capitalizes on those shots not being directed at him. A very good short swing there from Scoob.
One down.
Somebody at the wall.
South Street, south cross. One down, center office.
Ooh, Noctum finds Radar. Mantis still here. Scooby dialed in on the corner. Scooby actually is pushing out there. Yeah, and Mantis getting some suppressive shots on that retreat. Scooby's trying to swing and find the backside. Mantis has already rotated off the angle, though. He's actually going to try and rotate up and res Noctum, I think, is the move. Maybe not, though. And if he keeps this position, he's even in more danger from Scooby swinging here. Lego's dropped off the roof. I think Mantis really has to just be concerned about Scooby.
Crossing over to the south. Am I the only one up? Oh, I am. Can we get that res? It looks like they're nearer to you than me.
Oh, here comes Scoob. Mantis lingering a bit too long on this corner.
Actually, might be close to me. I'm gonna go for it.
There he goes. Scooby able to find those shots. His long flank angle ultimately paying off. And now Nutjob all alone, trying to bring back this round, trying to find those shots up onto the roof through the window there. to the doorway. Here comes the roof rotate. Nut job finds Leggle. Certainly was a tall order from him there, especially that the entire team knew he was the last one alive and where he was after those shots. But BossFight come out on top 4-0 for map 1. Solid couple of KDs across the board. The map pool, obviously a bit more limited. But Downfall, Bazaar, Suburbia, still on the table, and we are going to be headed to that long-range Haven for sniper rifles. Oops, didn't want to do that. Who's going to be going to Downfall? There we go. See a couple of Viper fans in chat. And yeah, I think what Vikings did is pick side and let BossFight choose map 1. Now BossFight has chosen map 2, which is Downfall. It does play into that long-range preference that does come in for Viper and the sniping that he's so effective at. And so I don't know how how this isn't shaping up good for Vikings, to say the least. Granted, Downfall plays differently in 1.8. You know, that 1 minute off the round timer is a lot for this map. So, really, we're going to see how effective that sniper is. We have not tuned in to many Downfall maps so far in the Hiatus tournament. And so, yeah, I am interested to see, again, how both of these teams play out. I'm now trying to think on round timers and where they were at. I think most of those rounds on Quarantine were pretty quick. Where are we at on stream time? Yeah, I mean, a 30-minute map 1. So both these EU squads doing well to play things fast and ahead of that time. Patiently waiting here. Just want to check. No roster subs coming in. Also seeing maybe we can get data in hesitant. Do it mid-cast. You're into the action. Round numero uno of map 2. Vikings on defense, and already shots coming in from Scooby-Doo on roof with the LMG. Pretty meta spot if you spawn here in the north. You take this 3-star and you can get some early shots out of spawn. This does sort of force that defense to be suppressed out the gate. Could prevent some preferred rotations, and we'll see. Fimi here, though, is pushed up pretty far forward. Radar has called this out.
Oh, that's rude.
And look at all the lasers straight in. There's Legel with the M203 through the window.
Enemy is dead in North Bungalow. Is down.
Viper, or Radar head, excuse me, trying to confirm the kill, but Fimi is too close to the wall.
Okay, cool. I don't have a frag, but he's down.
You might need more ammo.
Smoke at the red car. Smoke at the red car. West Street.
There you go. You know
I
where
think I got drum max. I actually don't. He's talking like he's just here.
No, I'm not.
There's the nade in.
God, I saw it out in the open.
Does finally confirm Fimi.
Still alive. I hear him breathing.
Oh god damn it. I can't see him. Oh well. Here's a little bit. We can't communicate.
The comedy of them trying to confirm Scooby-Doo.
You can click, right?
Tried to jump there to see through the window. You can see his character animate up. Ultimately, they're going to drop off of it. Radar actually going to go inside and confirm it. But ultimately, a lot of time invested here. That was 2.5 minutes to get Fimi killed and dead, and now BossFight can focus on the rest of things. Nade tossed out the window to Scooby. Picked that up off of Fimi's dead body.
He does. Free drum.
Okay, I'm coming around then.
Can I chuck it out the window?
Yeah, here, you can have that. And here's the drum. Can you pass me one drum for the G3?
Okay. 2 minutes 15 on the clock.
Yeah, cheers. Moving up.
You don't get that in any other game. Only in virtual reality. You see death. Finds knockdown, and in the time that little exchange has been going on, people have been dying. 2 go down now for Vikings, and BossFight moving up here. It looks like the kill came up in that back north rooftop there. Viper is the 4th for BossFight. You can just see him off to the corner of your screen in the distance, moving up on the east side of the map. Or, excuse me, the west. Let's take a look at the Vikings defensive setup here. Mantis rotating down through the ravine, Lone Miyagi, and White House.
I'm just gonna look down east one more time and then come back. Oh, motherfucker.
Misfire there from Miyagi, but he is covering an angle that he does need to cover because Viper is moving in from the west. The real trouble is ultimately on objective coverage is weak. Nut job taking some shots from on objective there towards Viper. Oh, he's going to try his hand at a nade toss. Oh, that's a pretty good toss too, but a bit too far. Viper is going to stay alive. Ultimately rotate around nicely too. C4 detonated. Radar head on the corner. Nutjob hears it. Lone Miyagi finds Viper around the corner. Radar head pushing in. He goes down. UC Death scooped up from Mantis, and just like that, 15 seconds on the clock. BossFight shut down. Now into the 1v2. Scooby trying to push up onto OBJ. 11 seconds. Pad out. Mantis and Miyagi both out in. Mantis trades. Scooby finds the kill. Vikings finally win the end of their round and get on the board 1-0. They've been coming close. They've been coming close. You know, every round they've been getting close to sort of getting that round win. And a good series, that's for dang sure. A good series. Do appreciate you all tuning in. If you're new, old, unfamiliar with the game, welcome. Hopefully you're learning a thing or two if you're a new Quest player, especially from these teams. You know, these squads are two veteran teams, years of experience in the game, and you know, you can learn how they pick early sight lines, how they smoked those sight lines on defense. It's a constant game of cat and mouse at a much larger scale than maybe a normal you know, bronze tier match. They're watching out the gate. They're smoking out the gate for rotations that they can get to defensive setups that they know will secure them spots that they need to be in. It's just you know, pay attention and try and mimic the sort of meta that these teams have invested so much time ironing out, or make your own. We'll have to be tuning into some lower tier, not some lower, well, some lower division matchups, maybe tomorrow. Sort of get an eye on some of those new teams. We did the first week of the Hiatus tournament, and it was fun. Out the gate here. This is what I mean. Early angles. Viper finds Nutjob right away. Now Scooby pumping suppressive rounds down to that east rotation. Radar heads moved up into a nice advantageous spot. And everyone on BossFight is set up pretty heavily here for this east rotation. And it's really only Mantis and Noctum. So they're still going to have to be ready for the west swing from the other two. Scooby doing an interesting rotation to the bottom of Ravine. It's just a bit of a hush here. The East has not shown themselves yet. Oh, knocked him, as I say that, is swinging up here to the top of the hill. And already catching heat from Viper. Sniper rounds just missing over the head.
One is Marsug Hills.
Femi trying to do something about it. Radar heads right here. The reverse of what we had the other time. But this time, Radar is going to come out on top again. Picks off Femi there through the window. Mantis now aware of this position as well, though. So Radar going to have to be careful peeking through those windows, and I think he knows that. Suppressive fire from Lone Miyagi to draw attention to the south, while Mantis and team try and work their way up, but it is not looking good. This defense thick here, waiting for Mantis. Sniper exchange. Viper ultimately comes out on top. He's cleared out east. And now he's going to try and do some damage to that west swing. He knows he heard some fire from. Vikings down to 2.
That's Martha one, right?
And BossFight trying to answer back here without losing a single one yet.
Enemy down by Marshall Twins. Down to Marshall Twins. -2 all day for me.
Radar head in this central position doing work. Has scooped up the final offender over on East. Lone Miyagi under fire from UC Death. And now the whole team knows he's over on West Road. I'm sure you're going to see a ton of lasers dialed in here. Viper most likely going to be looking in from the hilltop for some kind of action. Minute 35. I think Miyagi recognizes the situation that he's in. There's the shot. Viper comes out on top. Miyagi goes down. Vikings are now tied up as BossFight get a point on the board. Minute and a half between rounds, just enough time to heat me up some tea. And also enough time for these players to craft strategies. And there's your poem for the day. Tea in hand. Action underway. Round number 3. Map 2.
Did we lose someone? No, we didn't.
I'm gonna stay here, not jump.
Ready to press when you want to cross?
Now. I'm behind you.
Boss fights. Advancing nicely under suppressive fire and cover. UC Death and Radar making their way up to
We're 5 up.
that 3-story. Radar head might be able to do it relatively uncontested. No one has any angles here. Everyone very much tucked in around OBJ.
You know when you want to suppress.
Trying to find out where the 5th of Vikings is. Didn't drop, so he's somewhere, but we'll have to really look hard. It's like finding where's Waldo. Well, Miyagi knocked him and Mantis set up here. Ah, there he is, up in a very advanced position. Fimi here actually might be able to catch out. Do a boss fight, but look, I mean, they are very much dialed in here. Radar and UC Death aware of the threat that Fimi presents from this window. But he's not presenting it, he's kind of waiting. Everyone is waiting. BossFight have set themselves up. Scooby and Leggle in center, ready to kind of crash down towards OBJ from the middle. They're going to have to, again, deal with Fimi. Radar and UC Death have taken control of 3-story and all kinds of angles open up for them here. So they're basically sort of clearing their way, assessing, trying to identify where this defense is. They haven't had much success doing it just yet. UC Death is looking for Mantis through the windows, but again, Vikings know the angles and they're trying to stay hidden from them while also maintaining their own.
Truck is fucking balked.
Right.
Down here by the door. Were you thinking going road?
Negative.
M203 got shot off there.
Cover me.
Scooby's on a wide swing. I think he's looking to challenge Fimi. He is here. Shots ringing out across the map, and Scooby ultimately is not going to challenge Fimi in 2-story. In the meanwhile, UC Death threading the needle. Lone Miyagi finally exposing himself. Radar's managed to make it up to Blackhawk. He's holding an interesting angle. Fimi finds the shot. Scooby didn't confirm or pick that up just yet. He is trying to do it. Lone Miyagi goes down to Viper. Fimi suppressed and getting pinched. UC Death. Where's Viper? In the back. Fimi goes down to Scooby trying to charge in through the doorway. Fimi doing a great job to shut down this boss fight offense right now. Jeez, Fimi's still alive here, putting rounds down onto UC Death. Finally, Leggle able to pick off Fimi through the window. Lonely Viper finds Mantis.
He's running in between dumpster and center hotel.
Viper has been on a tear, hitting some really nice shots with that bolt action silencer. Noctum's trying to get those comms, trying to find the answer here.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it.
Viper doesn't see him. Noctum finds the kills. Smoke grenades are out here for Leggle to work with. Ooh, and he does get one. Now we're into the 1v1. Nutjob all alone. Not inside. Has to swing in. Leggle's pad out. Nutjob has to crash. Leggle's trying to punch in the code before Nutjob can get there. He does it. Wow. This series has been awesome. Wow. To go for that cap, I know, especially the new players, that is, you guys understand how that is so hard. To have that code memorized and punch it in like that quickly? Jeez, man. Viper has sullied his KD, unfortunately. 5 and 2. 2 deaths so far. Again, if you want to support the league, we can all go on to Twitter and shame Viper for dying twice. Instead of going undefeated. You know, you can tweet like, Viper, why did you die in the league match today? You should never die. Tweet him things like that. Help support the Lonely Viper as well. We have a lot of great content creators, honestly. And
I saw the Superman slide up that way. Don't smoke, but lock him in. Or do smoke, what do you want to do?
Wow. That's crazy.
Because the experts, they can think you're there.
1.8 is perfectly fine, I guarantee it. Hopping into round number 5 of this first map, and Viper all out the gate looking for some shots. The suppressive fire coming in. He does
One
get
down.
one. Fimi goes down.
One enemy down. -1 confirmed.
These are those defensive smokes I was talking about that they'll pop as well. Allows radar head. Ultimately, none of them were good, but they have a purpose and an intention. Radar head does get here into this crater. Scooby does push up into that bottom floor, and this Viking squad is in a bit of a tough bind right now.
Did anyone see if anyone went into North Watch?
Just suppressive shots coming in there to the window from that job. Raider head's not holding that angle. He's actually on the bottom floor. It's going to be a lot harder to take stock of where Marsoc is, so let's just kind of ID the Volk defensive setup here from BossFight. Scooby again, that bottom floor. Radar also bottom floor. You see Death tucked into the second story here. And, you know, Downfall, again, that 1 minute timer has changed a lot of this map, but there are also some other things that have been added. This in particular being one of them. For 1.8, adds all kinds of new cover options for this sort of defense, and you see Death utilizing that to not be shot through that window and hold angles up onto that north 3-story. Viper on the backside, he's going to smoke and cross. Not an optimal smoke. I think he wants to get up onto the hill.
They could be sending a guy around far southeast.
Actually, I don't know why he threw that smoke. It could be to bait out the peak. Shots from Viper. Find one. You see Death trying to pick up Noctum.
Out. One pushing.
I can smoke objective from here, but I can't advance much.
Can smoke objective from here. That's a heck of a toss. Really, though, Noctum has drawn a lot of the attention of this boss fight defense. I now know where the rest of Vikings are. Hello, Miyagi here in the center. You also have Mantis. There's the 5th from BossFight. I was wondering where he was. Lego's watching sort of... Oh, he's not actually watching this west street. Mantis could find an angle through the window here if he so desired. Oh no, Mantis doesn't ID Lego. Lego able to pick him off. Well, Miyagi tries to rotate off those shots to get into a better position, and Lego finds him as well. And Vikings, their series relies now on Noctum in a very tough position. He's just going to try out his luck. 25 seconds. His time is out. The smokes are in. And he is dead. Boss fight. Lock in map number 2, 4-1. Crazy series, though. You know, Vikings did such a good job to hang in there for the start of this map and for almost all of Quarantine. You know, lots of 1v1s, but here, the range really hurt them. You know, the comfortability that Viper has with the sniper is certainly something to troubling to deal with, and I don't know if it ultimately affected the play there from Vikings, but BossFight with a very solid defensive setup and offensive pushes snag that map, and now we move on to map number 3. Can't be this one. Map picked was Tanker, but that's certainly not the case. So it is a ban. But with a brief tech pause, we will be back in for that final map. Has to get played out because in the case of a tiebreaker, the ultimate map wins comes into factor there, and round wins, all of that do matter. So we'll always play out that third. That's where we're going to be headed for our third map. I again forgot about this one. It is going to be Bazaar. Keep forgetting about Bazaar in the map pool. BossFight, though, looking great this series. Vikings doing such a good job to compete against them. A couple of clutch kills, ultimately, though, have gotten BossFight this 2-map W. And now we go to Bazaar, and I'm interested because, you know, finally we're kind of cutting off the long range. Certainly there are some long-range angles, but I would be surprised to see a bolt action brought here on Bazaar from Viper. Again, who knows? He's surprised before. But, yeah, I think this is a bit more of a wiser choice. I honestly think Suburbia really would have been the best choice for Vikings, but they gave BossFight map pick out of the gate, and I think that ultimately helped determine the outcome for BossFight here, but shout out to everyone that's tuning in today. It's fine afternoon. It's been a good back and forth, a fun series to tune into. Some excellent plays. I'm sure there's going to be more here on Bazaar, so stick around for this final map, but do appreciate you tuning in. Seeing if we're getting any subs. Don't see anything here. On either side, oftentimes you'll see in that map 3, teams will bring in their subs that they have on roster, sort of get them that experience, train them up, make sure that their skills are still honed in. Because just the other day we saw subs being necessary, and you never know when a tech difficulty strikes or when someone's going to be playing off. And it can ultimately impact the team's ability. And I'll put it out into the ether. We're ready for the game to start. Both squads readied up. Should be hopping into the match any moment. I did not get a message that that was going to happen. I swear to you. It's always how it works, though. Vikings boss fight, map 3, round 1. A sigh from Miyagi. Mantis trying to keep it lighthearted as they scat their way up to their offensive positions. Quick moves coming in from Noctum. Raiderhead looking for shots out towards Nutjob, but the angle's not there. Now Radar in a bit of a dangerous position, but does have the toolbox to help block vision. Demi finds one. Miyagi putting out suppressive fire from the south. Raiderhead should also now hear Nutjob to his back. Ooh, Radar's going to find Nutjob prone. Gets that kill. Knocked him. Wow, the swing from Radar. A very nice double. Very well planned. Patient is a virtue. And I mean, he just assessed. Figured out where each one was. Patiently pushed his way out. And that's turn and burn really nice from Radar. Mantis takes out Radar. That's a big pick. Suppressive fire still coming in through the smokes here from Miyagi. And actually, that's going to be a pretty good smoke. Lego does see the cross out of the smoke, though, and is looking for the angle there. And Lego is so hard to identify inside, and Miyagi able to back off. The trade going down in middle, and now it's a 1v2. This is how this series has ended up shaking out nearly every round. It's come down to a 1v1 or a 1v2. You know, I think the move is that he's assessing here. Cross this street. Maybe go up through Middle Bazaar. Maybe swing north. Obviously risky because he doesn't know kill count, doesn't know where the defense is set up. There could be someone in Hiatus still for all he knows. The snap of the Pro Tube. He's gonna push up here. Oh, this could be... Oh, no, the nade goes a bit wide. If he had thrown that inside green room, it could have been nice. Does cross. Doesn't get shot. I think the call-out was there? No, it wasn't. Legel does finally pick him off, and BossFight able to lock in round 1 on NightFiree. No drops, nothing, so we're taking that full minute and a half for maybe jokes. Maybe they're doing a little live stand-up special inside the tent. Or, more likely, they're hashing out some stratagem for what is going to be round 2. See what this offense looks like coming in from BossFight. It is going to seem to favor the east cross and probably the push up the north. Nut job, just some blind fire there, and it's enough to draw out UC Death. But Lego and the like have gotten across. Mantis has managed to push up quickly into Kayak Courtyard in the back up north here. Picks off one, trying to work his way around, and Viper is going to have to be aware of the threat, as is Scooby. Noctum also holding a line of sight here through this middle bazaar, waiting for the entry from Scooby. UC Death certainly at risk from Noctum. Scooby maybe thinking twice about pushing up here. Ends up swinging out, and Noctum peeks the doorway, finds one. UC Death still here, though, putting rounds downrange towards Noctum. Noctum wants none of that. Mantis does want a piece, though, and BossFight have been picked off. Down to 2 shots coming in from Viper off the back end. Do go just a bit wide. Now he's taking some shots from Fimi also up in the north. A nade comes out. A flash not going to be there. And Fimi finds the elbow of Viper. BossFight are down. We're tied up. Very fast match, though, that's for sure, for 2 EU teams duking it out. First 2 maps done in an hour's time. Very impressive, and clearly BossFight playing things a bit faster on offense. I think they were done with that round. Well, they lost that round in 2 or 3 minutes, so they were pushing in out the gate early. And Vikings also not necessarily running down that clock, although I do remember a few rounds on quarantine that did get pretty close. We now shift to a Kayat objective. As we hop into round number 3. Vikings on offense. Oh, dang, I forgot to unmute audio. I knew there was something I missed.
One is upstairs, echo 1 or 2.
Knocked suppressing Kayat there 2-story, and look at this defense from BossFight. I wish we could see it on the overhead, but Scooby and Viper pushed out to the east. Death and Lego pushed out to the west. And it's really an open entry here for Femi to sort of snake his way into that objective. Their radar is the only one on OBJ. Of course, we'll see how long that lasts. All of these positions can easily rotate and pinch in on objective in a matter of seconds. But this might work for Vikings. Death still hasn't swung here to check the central area. He's getting close. He hears the shots now. He'll have that line of sight. He does get the kill. Knocked him. Smoked out OBJ, and you see Death looking for the perpetrator who threw those nades. Radar head also rotating off of him, and Knocked does find that frag. Lego picks up one in the west. Radarhead pumping rounds through the smoke. No one's coming in from the east, so Scooby might have an opportunity to flank here.
He's southwest corner, fucking huge corner, center bazaar.
Lots of eyes on him. Radar head finds Noctum. That's going to prevent Scooby from going down because Noctum had that line of sight. Miyagi does tag
Still there.
Scooby once. Viper trying to pick up those shots as well. In the meantime, Nutjob has swung around to the north. He's going to be interacting with Leggle shortly. Miyagi goes down to Scoob.
That was the least
And
fun round
BossFight
I've ever played.
snag another one. Kayat objective. Historically a capable objective. Out of all the ones on this map, Kayat in particular gets capped a lot. So I'm sure it's on Vikings' mind, and I'm sure BossFight are thinking they are potentially one round away from locking this thing down for map 3. We'll see what their plan of approach is as we hop into it. Whoa, look at that line of sight from Femi through the sandbags into Blue Room down onto Leggle. Femi confirming Leggle. Noctum finds UC death from the center there, but he overstayed his welcome. Scooby quickly peeks out and finds that kill. In the meanwhile, where has Noctum gone? Excuse me, Femi has rotated here, and he's found Radar through the sandbags. Viper's trying to swing here and get this line of sight in time, and he might get it if he keeps pushing. No, Femi now has had enough time to tuck himself back in. And BossFight are down to 2. And he confirms that, and Viper sort of slipping through the cracks of defense for the moment. Wow. As Femi calls out, east is clear. Viper finds the kill. Scooby-Doo now on the opposite end of Viper here, and they're both working their way from the east and west up to this north entry point onto this objective. 2:50 on the clock. They got plenty of time to do it.
I am west block. He's trying to push into Echo 6.
Pretty good smoke, denying vision from Nutjob, forcing this utility out a bit premature since Viper hasn't pushed up.
You got front of OBJ hang, somebody watching that?
Miyagi will be vulnerable to Scooby soon enough, if Scooby continues this pace along the street. Let's tune into Viper, because I know he is making that rotation, and oh, this is why he's moving over here. He wants to get some smoke grenades? Yes. Scooby's still working his way up here. Miyagi staying just low enough. Minute 12 left. Scooby could sneak his way through here. Oh, and Mantis with a little bit of a quick peek IDs and then goes for the shots. Gets the trade. Viper still left alive with 47 seconds, 45 on the clock. Slowly running out of time. Nutjob Overwatch here. Ooh, Viper's gonna challenge it. Nutjob's gonna win. Vikings hang on to their Coyote defense and tie things up 2-2. I can show you what the player view looks like when we hop into the next round. See that in chat. There's a lot of things turned on for aesthetic viewing pleasure that are not reflected in-game. There's no kill feed, for example, as sort of one of the maybe less obvious things. Players have no idea when an enemy or teammate has been killed or not unless they check their tablet or communicate that they have killed an enemy. And in that vein, there's no nameplates above players, there's no color outline to your team. You have to be able to identify the enemy if they are wearing a Marsoc uniform or a Volk uniform. And you have to also equally not shoot your teammates off of that identification basis. So a lot of things that you don't even consider are elements that these teams are so accustomed to that it doesn't affect their play. They're so used to communicating downs. They're so used to checking their map off of their pad to see where their teammates are. But yes, it is a much less... let's see what it is. I think it's... B, that's it. This is the game as the player sees it.
Oh, I always wear a G-string.
A lot less clear where your enemy is. A lot less clear who your teammates are. Lasers also for us, just to see where they're looking. Angle Nutjob's trying to hold here. Make sure no one comes in around that corner. No one playing that aggressive, though, for boss fight. Ooh, instantly, Miyagi and Fimi dial in to Radar Head as he tries to swing out there. I think he was looking to get up into the 2-story, but in that effort gets picked up, and down goes Radar. Now you see Death looking for that refrag.
One on the pallets, corner house.
Demi already crossed. Viper finds Noctum in the center there. Two have managed to get across now under the guise of that smoke. Legal is taking up defensive countermeasures. He does find Fimi. A nice rotation here, and he knows there's a second. He knows Lone Miyagi is here. Does he know there's going to be a third? Nutjob has managed to make his way across as well. East getting shut down. We're going to keep our focus on the remaining 2 of Vikings. Lego holding up this side of things. Lego staying disciplined, guarding his alleyway. Nutjob has decided better of pushing in through there, but honestly, this might be a bit of a riskier approach considering that Scooby-Doo is on that little elevated wood platform there, and I don't think that Nutjob sees him. You can see it's just a tiny head peek there. Oh, there, he identifies the movement, takes the shots. Down goes Scooby. Viper is now dialed in here, though. Those crates are saving Nutjob's life. Lone Miyagi gets UC Death. Somehow got around Lego and is now really getting around Lego as he advances. Viper does finally take down Nutjob. Lego here waiting and scoops up Miyagi on the backside with 2 left. Boss fight, hold on. And I forgot the layover. We've done that before once already. Apologize. I usually don't do that. Shoot! Oh. You win some and you lose some, I guess. KD's coming in on the day. 5 and 4 from Fimi, 5 and 2 from Legal. Viper, 3 more deaths. Unacceptable.
spawners, that would be.
Yeah.
What could be the final round of the series? If BossFight can lock it in, we'll see. Nut job getting himself a little C4 toss out there. Meanwhile, though, BossFight have applied some early pressure here, and Lego's already crossed without any smoke. Knocked him, finds Scooby-Doo. Viper picking up Fimi off the back end.
West Road.
Surprising again to see him with that 12 times, but he loves it. And Fimi is downed right now, so he can be rezzed by his team and he can radio in information. I think he's going to wait and see if any more cross the street before he puts out any call-outs.
Going near pallets, by the pallets.
There it is, the call-out. Lego confirms it. Oh, he has to push up. Mantis trying to swing off of this. Just out of vision here for Legel. There's the peek, the smoke to try and allow him to move out. Not gonna work. Oh, actually the flash. Mantis stays alive and shuts down that push. In the meanwhile, Radar Head has gotten himself danger close to a C4 I don't think he sees. But Nutjob is not ready for this. He's got the trigger on that C4. This is all audio information for Radar Head to work with.
Mantis, just call if you can see them push across the street, because I can get them from where I am.
Wow, I don't think they know Radar Head is in between their defense here. And now objectives open. Radar Head's pad out. No one is pushing him. He has all the time in the world to punch in a code. Yeah, nobody is pushing in. BossFight has snagged the final map, 5-3. The C4 perfectly placed goes unutilized, resulting in another map W for BossFight, but a fun series to tune into nonetheless. The scoreline certainly wouldn't say so, but Vikings put on a good show, and ultimately BossFight coming out with some clutch W's to get themselves that series win and all 3 maps. Shout out to everyone that has been tuning in and watching the series. Appreciate you all hanging out. Apologies for the overlay on one of those rounds, but hey, can't win them all. Also, a shout out to all the moderators for the league, and in particular Hiatus tournament. We do appreciate all the effort that goes into making sure that there's a space for competitive Onward. Looking forward to the start of the regular season as well. Not too far out, hopefully. Got another week of hiatus tournaments and then the finals on that, so you're going to be sure to tune in to this channel in the coming days and weeks. And that's going to be it from me. Quick shout out to the sponsors. I think I said that already, but you've seen them ticking across your screen here today. And yeah, that'll be it for me. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you all tomorrow with more Onward action, so tune in.